We will consider two questions. What is the link between peace and courage, and how can we help others to take courage? Let's begin with reading John 16, verse 33. On the evening before his death, Jesus told his apostles, John 16:33, I have said these things to you so that by means of me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take courage. I have conquered the world. The key words are peace and courage. The ransom is an expression of courage. And indeed, we can say that courage is connected to the ransom in two ways. For Jesus, paying the ransom required courage. For us, receiving the ransom gives us courage. Now, before we will consider the expression take courage, let's first look at the word peace. What is the peace that we receive by means of Jesus? Well, it's the inner calmness, the tranquility that we feel when we perceive that we are approved and loved by Jehovah and by Jesus. And what is the reason why we have such inner peace? It is because of the ransom arrangement. The ransom makes it possible for us to be reconciled to God, to be brought back in a relationship with Jehovah. Now, what results from having peace? Well, look at John 14, verse 27. Earlier that same evening, Jesus told his apostles, I leave you peace, I give you my peace. Do not let your hearts be troubled, nor let them shrink out of fear. So, the peace of God that we receive by means of Jesus prevents our heart from shrinking out of fear. In other words, having peace will give us courage. Now, to illustrate the link between peace and courage, think of a flower. Let's say a tulip. A tulip has a bulb and a flower. Let's compare the bulb with peace and the flower with courage. Now, just as a tulip grows out of a bulb that a gardener placed in the soil, so courage grows out of inner peace that Jehovah put in our heart. Without a bulb, there is no flower. Without inner peace, there is no godly courage. So what do we need to do in order to obtain peace and courage? Well, there is a saying that points in the right direction. The saying is, a Bible that is falling apart usually belongs to a person who is not. And indeed, we need to use the Bible often. We need to study it. We need to meditate upon it. The more we do so, the more courageous we will be. Now, let's return to John 16, verse 33, and consider the two words of our daily text. Take courage. What is the meaning? Well, take courage has the same meaning as take heart. In fact, the word heart and the word courage come from the same Latin word, cor. So take courage means be encouraged because of something. Now, as you can see on the monitor, the Bible records 5 instances where Jesus used the expression, take courage. In speaking to a paralyzed man, Jesus said, take courage. In speaking to a woman who suffered from a flow of blood, Jesus said, take courage. In speaking to the frightened apostles who saw him walking on the sea, Jesus said, take courage. In speaking to his apostles during the evening before his death, Jesus said, take courage. In appearing to the apostle Paul, Jesus said, take courage. When we take a closer look at these 5 instances, we will note that Jesus followed a pattern whenever he used that expression. Each time, after saying, take courage, what did Jesus do? He added a reason. Jesus did not only give a command, but also a reason that helped his listeners to understand why they could be encouraged. For example, look at Acts 23:11, where Jesus spoke to Paul. Now, at the end of the first sentence, we see the words, take courage. Then what is the next word that Jesus said? For, meaning for the reason that, or because. So the word for introduces the reason why Paul could take courage. Thus we could read that part of the verse as follows. Take courage. Why? For the reason that just as you have given a thorough witness about me in Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness in Rome. Well, the clear reason that Jesus added to his command, no doubt encouraged Paul. Now, in the other instances where Jesus said, take courage, the word for is implied. Reasons that Jesus added in the other instances. Matthew 9:2. Take courage. Why? Your sins are forgiven. Matthew 9:22. Take courage. Why? Your faith has made you well. Matthew 14:27. Take courage. Why? It is I. Do not be afraid. John 16:33. Take courage. Why? I have conquered the world. Last evening before Jesus' death, he was together with his apostles in the upper room in Jerusalem. Now let's imagine what happened shortly before Jesus told them, take courage. After instituting the memorial, Jesus looked around at his 11 faithful friends. There they were. Peter. Jesus couldn't help but love him. So impulsive, but so sincere. There was James and his younger brother John, once sons of thunder, but how had they changed for the better? Still zealous, but also compassionate. And there was Andrew, one of the first disciples he talked to, still going strong. As Jesus looked from face to face, a feeling of deep affection must have welled up in him. At that moment he felt so close to them that he was moved to address them in a way he had never addressed them before. He called them little children. No doubt Jesus' words moved the heart of the apostles. Shortly thereafter he told them, take courage. So, what are the two main points of our brief discussion? We have challenges, we have trials, but because of having peace, we can be courageous. And when encouraging others, we try to persuade their mind and move their heart as we tell them, take courage, my friend, for Jehovah is our helper.